2018 as Startup Central, the first and only daily show in India dedicated to startups and entrepreneurship. I'll be with you over the next 30 minutes. Welcome to the show. I'm Nayantara Rai. Let's get straight down to business. The wait is finally over for all the Apple fans in the country. If you want an Apple 8 or an Apple 8 Plus, it has been launched. Akash Ambani, JIO's top boss Mukesh Ambani's son unveiled the new iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. Mukesh Ambani and Apple CEO, Tim Cook that is, addressed the event via video conferencing. Tim Cook reiterated the importance of JIO's 4G network, the continuous focus on the Indian market, and even wished everyone in India a happy Diwali. JIO meanwhile has announced a tariff plan of $799, which will offers 90 GB data per month. iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus will support 11 Indian languages. Now, if you decide to use the iPhone 8 for 1 year on the JIO network, guess what? You get 70% cash back.
If you use the new iPhone on JIO for a year, you will get 70% of the MRP of the new iPhone as buyback. We promise a buyback for iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 10 after 1 year. You can opt for this offer through the following channels: JIO.com, My JIO app, any JIO store, any Reliance Retail digital store, enterprise partners of JIO, or Amazon.in. And you will also get an additional cashback on Citi credit cards and World debit cards. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time such a buyback offer is introduced in India, and it would not have been possible without my friends from Apple. So thank you. We are also very pleased to announce that we have either a JIO store or a Reliance digital store across 900 cities of India. And the new iPhone will be available across these over a period of time. We believe that this amazing offer by Reliance Digital with JIO's superior network is one of the most compelling propositions of all time.
Namaste to all my friends in India. Thank you for coming out today for the launch of iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus. A special thanks to Mukesh and everyone at JIO for hosting this celebration for iPhone customers. At Apple, we are incredibly excited about this new generation of iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus. They make everything we love about iPhone even better. We think you will love the new glass and aluminum designs with wireless charging and new Retina HD displays. iPhone 8 has the smartest, most powerful chip ever in a smartphone, the A11 Bionic, designed by Apple. It has our best cameras, portrait mode and portrait lighting, and the highest quality video capture on a phone. With iOS 11, these new iPhones also deliver amazing augmented reality experiences like nothing you've ever seen before.
A warm good afternoon to my friends from Apple and the media, and to all my dear JIO colleagues. And thank you, Akash, for making this partnership with Apple happen. For us at JIO, we value our partnership and relationship with Apple. It is a special moment for JIO to launch iPhone 8 in India on the JIO network. Thank you, Tim. Your message on this occasion makes this event truly special. We at JIO are committed to a long-term partnership with Apple. Dear friends, JIO today is just over a year old. JIO has accomplished several milestones in the last 1 year. I am delighted to share 5 of them with you today. First, in less than 170 days, more than 100 million customers signed up for JIO's service. This was the fastest adoption of any technology service anywhere in the world, faster than even Facebook, WhatsApp, and Skype. This is a testament to the unwavering trust that Indians have placed in us and their love for the JIO brand. Second, today, JIO is not just the largest network in India, but it is the world's largest data network. We have collectively made India the largest mobile data consuming nation in the world in just 1 year. JIO delivered the highest quality data at the world's lowest price to every Indian. Third, JIO has made voice free for life. True HD quality voice that is better than any other network. Fourth, nearly 500 million Indians are unable to access the superior technology of 4G. It is for them that JIO launched effectively the free India Ka smartphone, the JIO phone. With this, they will be able to access free voice and access high-speed internet at their convenience, even in the remotest corner of India.
There you go. That's what Tim Cook and Mukesh Ambani had to say on the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus launch. Let's see when the iPhone X, or rather the iPhone 10, is launched. My colleague Vijay Iyer was also there at that press conference. Do we have Vijay? No, we'll move on for now and we'll talk about the Tatas. While the Tata Trust is helping startups in social innovation space, they will soon launch a dedicated fund to back startups solving the real problems of society, is what they're saying today. Rahul Dama caught up with Manoj Kumar, the head of innovation at Tata Trust, to get you more on this story. Here's an excerpt of that conversation.
This is a history of Tata Trust, right? So trusts have been in philanthropy for more than 100 years, building institutions, working on innovation, livelihoods, poverty elimination. But you know, we've been having this discussion in trust that we should actually promote entrepreneurship and innovation for social impact. So how do we search for innovators and entrepreneurs who actually want to create impact using market-based models, right? And create an ecosystem where they can get mentoring, coaching, operational support, seed capital. And we realize that we need to build a foundation, and we call it Foundation for Innovation and Social Entrepreneurship. And you know, the charter is to promote entrepreneurship, and we focus on science and technology-based startups, right? Primarily product companies, because we believe that one, entrepreneurship has the potential to create impact, but then the products can provide you that non-linear jump,
and
right?
Also that push.
And the push, yeah. And unfortunately, that is the part, the science, technology, and product part, that is, you know, quite underfunded. Not many investors are interested in that space because it's extremely high risk. So we decided that, you know, if we don't do it, who else, right? So with Tata Trust DNA, I think this is the kind of risk we should be taking, and we decided to, you know, go ahead with that.
But you know, isn't funding largely that startups in the space want? Because you know, we were also discussing not many investors really bullish on the space. You know, because the returns is not something you can quantify. You know, it's about having that impact, the social impact, unless you're really solving problems of scale. So you know, is funding really the big need from your really association with startups that you've seen?
Yeah. So I think there are three things. One, a lot of innovators are not venturing into social entrepreneurship because they are not so sure whether they will get the right support. So it's just not just the funding, it's also access to market. Yeah, it's also access to market. It's also mentoring, coaching, operational support, lab access, right? So for example, you are a scientist who is working on water, and then you need access to a lab. Where do you find those kind of support systems? So I think funding is important, but not the only one. You know, it's overall operational support and market access, I would say, along with funding, that makes a lot of difference.
What really goes behind picking those startups? For startups also watching the show, if they plan to apply, what are you really looking for?
So if you look at, you know, development sector or social sector as it is called, it's a lot about affordable solutions. It's also about solving problems which have not been solved, and it's also about user experience, right? So if you want community to accept your solution, it has to be priced at a point they can afford. it has to be available and accessible to them, and it has to be good. People have aspirations, so we don't look at the jugaad kind of stuff or frugal innovation. We really want communities to get access to world-class products, right? So we look at good quality, affordable solutions. We search for them through various programs we run. Currently we are running one program with Titan, which is called Design for Impact, which is closing on 31st of October. So I would recommend that all entrepreneurs actually apply for that. So we run multiple programs. We ran with Government of India, India Innovation Growth Program. We got a very good pipeline of innovative ideas. So we search for these entrepreneurs and then incubate them. But if I can go back to Tata Trust, historically what Tata Trust has been doing, in Tata Trust we built a Tata Center in MIT in US, another Tata Center in IIT Bombay, and we fund a lot of translational research focused on India and developing world. So that is another source of pipeline, right? So as these research projects mature, they would move into our incubation. So we try to create a pipeline from various sources, and by the time we actually provide seed capital, we would have seen and known these startups for some time. Yeah.
So it always helps to apply and see where you fit in and see how it goes. Also, as far as funding is concerned, will you look at a more dedicated approach, or probably having a fund, because you were also mentioning that funding is sort of constraint as far as startups here. So do you look at a more dedicated approach as far as funding them is concerned?
Actually, thanks for asking that question. So, see, you need different type of capital at different points of time in the life of a startup. In social sector, especially if you are doing R&D, at that stage you are in an educational institution or research center, you need some grants, right? Then you need seed capital, and that's where the big gap is, and we created FISC to provide seed capital. But even after that, there is a huge value of that, right? Because this is not a sector that can easily get funded, unlike several other sectors in economy where you have number of VCs funding number of startups. In social sector, especially in science and technology based products, we don't have that kind of money. So we are currently working on raising a fund that would be India's first social sector fund, which would invest in product startups. And we have got SEBI approval. We are actually doing the roadshows at the moment. We are trying to raise about $30 million in our first fund, and depending upon its success, we probably will go with a higher number later. So hopefully, by the end of this year or early next year, we will have a fund in place.
Tata Trust plans for you over there. With that, time for a short commercial break, but stay tuned. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. You're watching Startup Central right here on ET Now. And then Tara Rai, let's get you some news from the e-commerce space. Fashion portal Myntra is betting big on the offline medium. So after Mango, it's managed to bag the master distribution rights for yet another international brand. This time round, Esprit. The e-tailer, that's Myntra, will help Esprit launch 15 stores over the coming few years. Rahul Diama caught up with the top management of Myntra and Esprit to find out why this partnership is tailor-made.
Very excited about the partnership. I believe that Esprit as a brand is really, from a global standpoint, going through a terrific run, and we're very excited to partner with them over the next 5 years to really build out the brand in India, both offline and online. I am a firm believer, based on even the previous deal that we spoke about, that omni-channel is the right way to build the brand. And having a single partner really helps, because you can be coordinated across the channels in terms of how we view the data, how we look at all of that. So very excited about the partnership. We intend to open perhaps 15 stores for Esprit, in addition to actually being their online partner across Myntra and Jabot.
Got it. Coming to you in terms of Esprit's had an online presence for quite some time now. So what is the need for this omni-channel presence? Do you see the India, as you mentioned, the market that it is an omni-channel presence that will really help?
Yes, omni-channel is not a prerequisite from the brand. It's a prerequisite from the consumer point of view. Today, consumers are clearly expecting for both experience, when they shop or when they pay some interest to a brand. So we tested Esprit again in India with first online, as you just said. We started in 2016 with Myntra. First, what we discovered is that the brand awareness is still extremely strong, and we discovered very quickly, we are working with Myntra and Jabong, that the reaction of the market was also extremely positive in terms of sales. So the question came, what should be our offline strategy? And this is where we discover, discussing with the Myntra team, that we could work together for this omni-channel strategy, which is a very unique approach to start first online and after that move to offline in the same time.
Got it. You know, you exited India a few years back because...
Yes, 2012.
2012, that is. So what didn't work at that point of a time, and what do you think will work for Esprit this time?
Alors, I cannot give you a lot of details about what worked or what didn't work up to 2012. I wasn't there. It's another time. The retail scenes have totally changed.
Yeah.
It's good to learn from the past, of course, but in the same time, the retail scenes have radically changed. I mean, omni-channel strategy was not a word that was existing at that time. So we certainly made some mistake. Our retail partner at that time was a very good one, very professional one, but market have changed. New brands, new players, new requests from the consumer point of view. So when looking at India again, starting from for me, the way I looked at it was starting again from a blank sheet of paper. Brand awareness was there for sure, and strong one, but I needed to look at it with a totally new eye and totally new approach.
Got it. Okay, Anand, you know, he mentioned about omni-channel wasn't even a word, 4 years back. 2 years back, even in the online space, it wasn't as much of a buzzword because the growth was going to come from the internet, the mobile phones, with people moving there. So what has really happened? Are we going back to the basics? And you also spoke about that offline is a very integral part of India.
Yeah. So look, we are market leaders. I think online is the DNA of our business, and that's how we've started. But as we have seen the overall expansion, I believe in order to build brands, you do need offline plus online, right? It's not necessarily to expand the overall market because the market is still more offline driven, offline overall. But I believe that actually combining the two, you can build brands very differently, right? Even in our own private label, as you know, on the Roadster store, what's happened is that the market share for Roadster in Bangalore has gone up by 5% because there's a store in the online space, because we have an offline store. So there's a lot of interplay between the two, right? Yeah. So that's why we wanted to do it. So, and there's no other way in my mind to actually be able to build a brand. I think you can get a lot of sales in just online, but if you want to really build a brand, I think being able to do both is interesting. I think tech is also evolving dramatically. The biggest problem even in offline is footfalls and traffic. You're able to solve that problem through some of the online consumer data and being able to direct traffic. Things like size and fit and returns are hard to solve online, but they're easier to solve offline. So really it's quite complementary. So that's why we have been doing it, and we're excited about it.
All right.
If I can compliment on this, because I've got some data on other countries where we operate directly the omni-channel strategy. If I take the case of China, that we operate directly with a very strong online and offline activity, it's very clear that the cities where we are successful in terms of online are the city where we are as well offline.
Wow.
And if we are not there, if the consumer do not see us on a daily basis, when they go in a shopping mall on the Saturday afternoon, for instance, when they go online after that, they have this brand in mind, they have seen it, and they will go and shop. So the two channels really have to work very closely together, and cities where we don't have stores are the weakest cities for us in terms of online activities.
That's Myntra and Esprit for you stitching together a new partnership. Well, it's Friday, and what better way than to end the show than this? We get you Bollywood star Shahid Kapoor on our segment today, Starstruck. Shahid recently turned brand ambassador for Reebok. Rahul Diama managed to get him talking about fitness, money mantra, and what he makes of technology when it comes to fitness.
I was extremely happy with the philosophy that Reebok has, where they talk about fitness, which is holistic. They don't just talk about hitting the gym or making a body. As actors, we show people that side, but that's a part of our job. But as a human being, I know that fitness is way beyond that. It's not just about having a good body or having six packs. It's actually about being healthy. It's about being healthy emotionally. It's about being healthy physically. It's about being healthy mentally. And when all those three areas come together, you feel fulfilled and you feel happy and positive about yourself as a person, and that's the philosophy that Reebok has. And so I was so happy to see that the way that they project fitness is so much more evolved and so much more holistic than usually how fitness is represented.
Shahid, I sort of warned you about this also. We are a business news channel, and we talk about.
You don't think I'm a businessman and I understand business?
Interesting. So, we talk about money. Where does really Shahid park his money? Is it also important for people to invest in fitness? Because, a lot of them don't really do that.
Well, I think time is money. And in that context, it's important to invest in fitness. You should invest your time in being fit. As far as where you park your money is concerned, I think half the times I don't know where I park my money. I have a team which takes care of that for me, and I depend on them for that. But definitely, I think fitness is a growing business in this country. I think in the last 7 to 10 years, I've seen a huge growth in the way people perceive fitness, in generally the awareness about fitness. So the fitness industry is a growing industry in India. I wouldn't really be. I don't think I'm a specialist to comment on where people should put their money, and I don't want anybody holding my collar tomorrow saying तुमने तो बोला था fitness में डालो अब हमारे पैसे नहीं बने ऐसा वैसा. So I don't think I'll comment on that, but I would definitely say it's a growing industry in this country.
All right, got it. Lastly, Shahid, technology is also something that is very, very in as far as sports is concerned. So, are you a sort of person who keeps an update as far as technology is concerned? You technology, while you're working out or for fitness, or you sort of believe in the traditional way of working out, keeping fit, and as you said, positively thinking?
Well, I would say I'm an old school guy. I have a simple belief. Go spend your time in a gym or doing yoga or dancing or doing functional fitness or doing athletics or pick up a sport. Give your time to whatever it is that drives you towards being fit, whatever it is that makes you feel passionately. Doesn't matter the equipment that you have. I think your best equipment is your body, and God has given you that. And if you understand how to, if you understand how to understand what it is that your body truly seeks, all the answers will be right there. Technology, of course, is great, and it's great to have new stuff and new machines, and it's always exciting when you hit the gym and there's this new machine and you're asking people, okay, what does that do and stuff like that. So all that is great, but eventually it's just about going out there and doing it. Yeah.
Fitness tips there from Shahid Kapoor. With that, we'll wrap up this edition of Startup Central. Have a great weekend.